Hello everybody. Today I want to talk about if you need to be an immigration lawyer to render immigration services in South Africa and maybe also in some other African countries. Okay, so obviously a lot of our American clients in particular ask us, do you need to be an immigration lawyer to render services in South Africa? And the legal answer to that is no, you don't have to. It's not a protected industry. There's, as a matter of fact, it's a completely open industry, and I will come to that a little bit later. But yeah, unlike in the US, there is no statutory requirements or protected group of professionals. So you don't have to be a registered attorney to render immigration services in South Africa. Okay, is it obviously beneficial? That's another question. So I do think that we used to, in the old legislation, we used to have advocates, attorneys, and immigration petitioners being the designated group of professionals being allowed to render immigration consulting services. One of our former ministers of Home Affairs abolished that section 46, I think it was, in the Immigration Act, abolishing the immigration petitioners. And since then, obviously, our industry is unprotected, which is not great, I think. It opens itself up to obviously anybody and everybody can render services and can claim to be knowledgeable. Now, in South Africa at least, there is a voluntary organization called FIPA, the Forum of Immigration Petitioner, where at least there is a voluntary membership, and if you want to become a member, you need to pass a test. The test is rather comprehensive, so a certain professional knowledge is tested. And also if members do fraudulent matters or they run away with your money, etc., you can actually lodge a plain complaint against FIPA. So I think it's important, if you look for an immigration lawyer, immigration attorney, you might want to check the companies. They don't have to be immigration lawyers, as I said, but I do think they should be registered with FIPA or have some sort of professional track record and background. I do think practically it is useful if in the company a couple of at least legal people who studied law are working. Maybe they don't have to be admitted as attorneys, but it certainly helps in immigration because it is a law, and a lot of legal-based arguments are important for corporates as well. So I do think you want to look for a company of a certain size with legally trained people as much as possible, and I think that's the situation in South Africa. The situation in Africa is extremely similar. So Zambia has also a dedicated group of professionals where you need to register for to be able to render immigration services. So that's a protected market. It's a bit like Australia, New Zealand, the UK, where you also have to do exams and do professional training. But it doesn't have to be an immigration lawyer or an immigration attorney. And in the rest of Africa, it's similar to South Africa. It's an unprotected industry. There's a very low thresholds to entry, and that I don't think serves the country as well as the authorities as well as the clients always the best way. I do hear a lot of complaints, in particular in Namibia and East Africa, of providers who get paid and then don't do a thing, and you can't really get hold of them anymore because they communicate over WhatsApp and basically operate out of a suitcase and can disappear very quickly. So be wary of that. So I do think you want to look for an established business and as I said, ideally with a few people with legal backgrounds, but you don't have to be an immigration attorney. Bye-bye.